Hello, this is Thfc Clyde. I watch along on a Saturday. No Spurs today, but there's lesser teams playing, so we'll have a look at them and see how they're getting on. Dermot will be along in a minute. I'm just standing in for him until he arrives. But at the moment now, we've got the 3 o'clock kickoffs are just after getting underway. And already we've got a goal at Crystal Palace. Keane Lewis Potter has scored for Brentford. So Palace's poor run's continuing. The other games that are on today are Villa versus Burnley, Palace, Brentford, Luton have lost 3-2 to Chelsea. Manchester City are at home to Sheffield United, which could be one of the great mismatches of the season, but you never know. Wolves are at home to Everton, and later on, 5:30, it's Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United. And we'll see how United get on after their big win against Villa during the week. In case you missed it earlier, there was a big game in Glasgow this morning, 12:30 kickoff, and Celtic edged out Rangers 2-1. Tight game. Celtic scored in the first half for about 20 minutes or so. Rangers came back into it, still 1-0 at half time to Celtic. Celtic scored immediately at the start of the second half, a great goal by Kyoka. Then near the end, almost into injury time, Rangers pulled the goal back with a lovely free kick from Tavernier. And it kept things really nervous for the last. There's 10 or 11 minutes of injury time played, and Celtic just about held on. So it was a great win for them. It keeps them. I'm just going to look at the Scottish League now. I know it was getting tight up there because of the way things were. Rangers had gone 16 matches unbeaten, I think, and that's a hell of an unbeaten run. I think it's the second best they've ever had. And, for Celtic to beat it now, there was huge celebrations at the end of the match from the Celtic fans, as you can imagine. So Celtic are now 8 points ahead of Rangers with 2 games. Rangers have 2 games in hand. So win those 2, the Celtic are still ahead. So I'm just giving you how much ahead of the other teams in Scotland, Celtic and Rangers are. The team in 3rd place is 10 points behind Rangers and 18 points behind Celtic after half the season. So just shows you. Let me see. There was a VAR inspection at Brentford for the Brentford goal, but apparently it's been allowed. So it's 1-0 to Palace at Crystal 1-0 to Brentford at Crystal Palace. Earlier, Chelsea were 3-0 up against Luton after 70 minutes. Luton had a goal disallowed, then scored twice in the last 10 minutes to really make a game of it. So it finished 3-2 to Chelsea, but a bit of a struggle. And as Dermot will probably talk later on, there are not unconfirmed reports, but there's very, very strong rumours that Spurs and Chelsea are in advanced talks for the transfer of Conor Gallagher to Tottenham for a fee in the region of 40 million quid. Now, I think he will be a good addition to the squad, especially if Pierre Højbjerg is moving on to Juventus or elsewhere. And after his last couple of performances, he can't go quick enough, to be honest. He's really, it looks like his mind's been elsewhere for the last couple of matches. So that could be an interesting move for Spurs to get Gallagher in. He's a good midfielder. I'm quite surprised why Chelsea are letting him go, because he's not as if he's a squad player. He's playing regularly for them. And I read a post somewhere recently with the Chelsea fans are not a bit happy about us even being allowed to talk to them about Conor Gallagher. But anyway, we shall see what happens there. See any more goals going in there? Ayr 0, Dunfermline 1 in Scotland. Falkirk 1, Stirling Albion 0, and Oldham have gone 1-0 up at Hartlepool in the National League. Any other Spurs news apart from the injuries and the suspensions? This is terrible today that we're missing both Bissouma and Kulusevski due to suspension. Really, against the Bournemouth team tomorrow, they're going to be up for the game. They've won. They're the best team, the best form team in the Premiership at the moment, and it's going to be a tight one. The boys are going to have to pick themselves up after that debacle at Brighton the other night, where when he started playing after about 75 minutes, and you can't win a match playing for 15 minutes. Well, anyway, Manchester City still 0-0 with Sheffield United, and that'll be surprising. I saw some guy, an ultra confident Sheffield United fan, saying it's going to be the shock of the season today, that Sheffield United are going to go to Main Road or whatever you call it nowadays, and they're going to win 3-0. We shall see. And no, that's about all the goals so far. Aston Villa Burnley is going to be an interesting match. Villa slipped up a little bit there. They were so dominant against Man United in the first half of the night there, and literally didn't bother coming out for the second half and allowed United back into it. And they lost the game they should never have lost. And it's going to see how they're going to react. I mean, teams like Villa that look so good at the minute, will they last the pace? Will Europe take it out of them? Will they manage to keep up their pressure to get into the Champions League next season? I don't know whether they will or not. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, let's see who's in the chat. Chris Welch is in. Say hi, Chris. It's a big old Philip. Hope you had a good Christmas. Yeah, it's still going on a wee bit. New Year's coming up now. So tomorrow night. So that'll be the end of it then. So back to work next week. I hope you had a good one. And Ayr United 0 now, Dunfermline 2. I won't even try and pronounce the server score there. Alex Jakubiak. Yeah. So I'm watching Sky here, and it's not the same without Jeff Stelling. I mean, that guy was like a walking computer when it came to putting up the scores, and knowing about this guy's his first goal in 47 matches. I think that he's an unbelievable computer. Really, really good. So I kind of miss him. And I don't know if Paul Merson on today. I hope he's not, because it's enough to annoy me whenever he shows up. I don't know if he's doing any of the matches. And there's a game on live on Premier Sports here in Ireland at the minute. It's the Man City Sheffield United game. Interesting that tomorrow, the only game that's been shown on Sky anyway is the Fulham versus Arsenal game. Tottenham Bournemouth is not on TV here. which is very, very, very annoying. Why they didn't put the match on at 4:30 and show it like every other Sunday, I don't know. But both matches kick off at 2:00, and only one of them obviously has been shown, and it's not us. Favoritism again, but anyway. And let me see what there is. No, there's not much happening really at the moment. Aberdeen 0, St Mirren 0 in the Scottish Premiership, Hearts 0, Ross County 0, Kilmarnock 0, Dundee 0, Motherwell 0, Livingston 0. And as I said earlier, the result from earlier in the Premiership, Luton 2, Chelsea 3, will buy Pochettino a bit more time in his never-ending search of a settled team at Chelsea. And Aberdeen have just gone 1-0 down to St Mirren, which is a bit of a surprise, but it's happened. So what have we got? We've got 13, 14 minutes gone in the 3:00 kickoffs. Edinburgh City 0, Hamilton Academicals 1. I'm sure there's a huge crowd at that game. That's Scottish League Division 1. I don't know how some of these Scottish teams survive really with the crowds they get. They're really, really small. I suppose the players are only part-timers. And still 1-0 to Brentford at Palace. Brentford off the back of a humbling home defeat by Wolves the other night when they only got 4-1, I think it was. And Chris is saying, yeah, my Christmas is good. That's good, Chris. Hopefully Carlisle now will be doing a bit better for you. See now the scores. It's frustrating me that you can't put the volume up on there, so I can't hear what they're saying. They're talking about Villa and Burnley at the minute, but I don't know what they're saying. So I have to learn to lip read, I think. That was a big win for Celtic, though, against Rangers. The Rangers were just starting to put pressure on them at the top of the league, and Celtic aren't playing that well. They're not the same team they were under Ange. They're not flowing as well. Mind you, there are a lot of injuries today. Carter Vickers wasn't playing, and the centre half to replace him was not injured in the first half. So it was a tight game. But again, no Rangers fans allowed into Parkhead. It's becoming I think a pattern now in Old Firm derbies. They don't allow the opposition fans in there at all. Now I'm sure there's a few Rangers fans got in there on the QT, but they're keeping their mouth shut because it's not a safe place to be among Celtic fans, I tell you. And the same goes when Celtic play at Ibrox. Crystal Palace have just equalised against Brentford after 14 minutes. Michael Olise and Carl Simpson. Hiya, Carl. Dermot will be along in a minute. I'm just standing in for him until he comes. Saying big up, Philip. Hope you had a good Christmas, Carl. It's Paul Merson is doing. Our Man City are 1-0 up against Sheffield United. That only took him 14 minutes. I'm surprised it took that long. Let's see who scored. Paul Merson looks like he hasn't seen a razor for a while. It's Rodri after 14 minutes. Yeah, back in the team again. And Daniela Zita is in saying good afternoon. It's looking like we will have Dragusin in by the Burnley game, but maybe Gallagher too. Yeah, it's looking. I'm surprised by the Gallagher one. I just can't get my head around it. What the thinking there is. But anyway, listen, he must be obviously surplus to requirements at Chelsea. And maybe Pochettino has put in a word for us to get hold of him. You know, Dragusin looks a good player. Romanian international, he looks good. And listen, we need centre halves. You cannot play a match like Thursday night with 4 fullbacks playing in the defence. It's just not on. You can't do it. It's not fair to ask them, really. Now, I think tomorrow, if I was Ange, I'd be thinking of playing either Ashley Phillips or Dorrington instead of Royale in centre-half position. Because, I mean, it's like asking a goalkeeper to play centre-forward. It's a specialised position. You just can't do it. I know some experience at centre-back, but he's not there all the time. I think that's a dangerous game Ange is playing, but not. He's got the kids on the bench. Why not throw them on? Get them experience. Get a bit of it. Brighton did it. Why can't we? A few more scores. Clyde 0, Stenhousemuir 1, Falkirk 2, Stirling 0, and Motherwell 1, Livingston 0. And Carl saying I did. Thank you, Philip. I hope you did too. Yeah, it was good. Christmas is nice to get a few days off. I did have to a funeral to go to yesterday. Aunt of mine died. So it's she's the last aunt I had. So it was a sad enough day. And my God, the weather. It was nearly snowing in the graveyard. It was sleet. It was really, really cold. And the graveyard on the side of a hill. You can imagine what that was like. So anyway. And what else we got? Yeah, what about Livingston now? Here he is. I think this is himself landing here now.
I'm still running late, Philip. Did you send a link to Brad?
No, Dermot, I can't. I haven't got him in my contact, and I just have time to set it up.
I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now.
Yeah, okay.
I tell you what we might do. I don't like. Okay, I'll send it to Brad now. Hang on. I'm just running really late.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to head off soon.
I got caught with the Tesco shop. Yeah, right, I know that. Right. So I'll wait for Brad to come in. I tell you what, we might call this. We actually might. Oh, okay. I was going to stop it, but we might as well carry on. We're going now. So I wait for Brad to come in, and then I have to shoot off just to do something quickly, and then I am back. So I'll hang on to Brad comes. So I know you got to go, Philip. So
yeah, I'll just read these comments here anyway. And yeah, go on, see if you can get hold of me as quick as you can anyway. And,
no, you can go. Here's Brad now. Grant. This is good.
Go.
Brad,
Brad.
We're gonna me and Philip. Yeah, we have to depart. Philip's gonna go away has to go away. He's gonna hop in and out. Can you give me 5 minutes? I need to go and quickly do something. You're now hosting the whole THFC Till Die show. The channel is in your hands.
Brad. Right. Well.
No pressure, Brad. No pressure.
Well, just keep us up to date on the scores, Brad, and what's happening around the grounds and that.
Right. Well, good
up there just a couple of minutes ago. So
yeah, good afternoon, everybody. There's been some goals. Crystal Palace won, Brentford won. Brentford scored after 2 minutes, and they spent longer on the VAR decision than they did on the actual goal to score the goal.
What's new? What's new?
Yeah, exactly. Man City have just gone 1-0 up against Sheffield United.
Yeah, Rodri scored that one.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's going to happen. And now, there's nothing else really happening. A lot of stuff happening in Scotland. I think there's no League 1 or 2 games today, or Championship games. I think that's all yesterday.
All called off.
Yeah. So, So it's
anyway.
And early today, Luton 2, Chelsea 3. Chelsea 3-0 up within 70 minutes, and then Luton scoring 2 in the last 10 minutes, and obviously put a bit of pressure on them.
Yeah. What do you reckon on the Gallagher thing, Brad? Do you think it's going to happen?
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. It's all about Tottenham, isn't it? We never normally bid what the actual club wants for the player. So there's normally like to-ing and fro-ing going between the two clubs, but we don't really do a lot of business with Chelsea. I mean, I've seen him play. I mean, he doesn't really set me alight, but I guess he's an English international, so he's one of the homegrown players.
Yeah,
and I keep reading. Yeah, keep reading that he fits in with Postecoglou's system. So, and we probably do need strengthening in the midfield with all the players away over the AFCON and the Asian Cup. So, yeah.
Brad, I'm going to have to leave you, I'm afraid.
All right, okay.
I have family here, so I'll hop back in the camera when I can, but Dermot will be back in a couple of minutes.
All right, then. About that. Take care, Philip.
So, yeah. Hello. Bye-bye.
Say hello to people in the chat. That's probably the best thing to start. Who have we got in the chat? Chris Welsh. Hello, Chris. How you doing? We have Carl Simpson. How you doing, Carl? Daniela Zito. How you doing, Daniela? And I think that's it. Carl, I'm sort of well, but I've got a sore throat and a cough that I've had since before Christmas. So I guess I should really test for COVID, but I might do that later. But yes, it's my show now. So a few changes we're going to have now, he says. As I go to adverts in the Soccer Saturday. So I can't even tell you what's going on because they're in adverts. So, although they got the little ticker going across the actual screen. And I do believe Celtic beat Rangers 2-1 today, so Rangers still can't get that. So if you want to ask me any questions about anything, football, politics, music, go for it, and I'll try my best to answer them without being too controversial, because it's very difficult not to be controversial these days. So there's an advert for Bold on TV. Other washing powders are available. So what do people think about the transfer window? I think we need to definitely strengthen. I think everyone realises that. I think we showed on Thursday night that there's problems there if we haven't got a really strong team. I think some of the players, I don't buy this. Oh, they didn't want it. I don't buy that at all. I just think on the night we weren't good enough, and we realise that we're going to have to score loads of goals whilst the defence is weakened with the players that are out. So yeah, we really have to take our chances. And the problem was we had a really great 5 or 6 minutes, but we didn't really make the keeper make any saves. And then they had 2 or 3 minutes where Vic made some brilliant saves. So that's the difference. You got to. It's all very well having possession and being all nice and ticky-tacky and looking really nice, but you got to end up with a shot on goal or create chances. So, Carl, you're saying you think Ange's going to be backed? Yeah. Every season you have the Spurs will need to sell players before buying. Then you have someone saying, "Oh, we're in for this player, we're in for that player." So I don't take much interest in any of what I hear. I mean, Matt Law is a very, very, very good journalist. Posted that we need to sell players to buy, and then the next post he did was saying that we're in 40, 50 million for a player. So, make of that what you will. I would like to see what's happening with the fact that the amount of money this stadium is now bringing in, the income we're making from obviously the support, the food and drink, the concerts, the NFL. They can't really keep saying this is the stadium that's supposed to fund the team for the future. They can't keep saying, "Oh, well, this happened or that happened." They've got to, at the end of the day, got to put them on. I mean, no one uses checks anymore, but sign the checks. And I think the thing about Ange Postecoglou is I don't think he will want to. He needs to buy players that are hundreds of millions of pounds. So I don't think it's going to be a case of, "Oh, we can't afford Messi or whatever it might be." It's a question of players that he wants. I think it'll be the players that won't cost that amount of money, won't cost lots of money. So yeah, I hope you're right, Carl. I don't want to be seeing that Spurs are offering 30 million for Conor Gallagher, because we know that's not what they want for him. They've just got to go in with the make the offer, go with what the club wants, or at least within reason. But this is we haven't got time to we've only got 4 or 5 weeks. We've got players that aren't playing. We haven't got time to mess about bartering over £5 or £6 million. And I just don't understand how that £5 or £6 million that we might barter over, that could be finishing 4th or 5th, and you're going to make that money back anyway. If you it's all about speculating with your money. That's what you have to do. So I guess we will see. Anyway, we're back, and it's Wolves 1, Everton 0. Max Kilman after 25 minutes. I do believe we were interested in Max Kilman at one stage. We got Motherwell 2, Livingston 0. Oh, then Motherwell 2, Livingston 1. And my sister's favourite team, mainly because of the name, not Edinburgh City, but Edinburgh City 0, Hamilton Academicals 3. That's my sister's favourite team because of the way that the name of the team. Yeah, Højbjerg's an interesting one. I think if they can get a replacement for him, I think they'll be off, because I think he wants first team football. So that might be, that might suit all parties. I was very interested to read the interview with Lo Celso, because I've always presumed that Lo Celso would be off because he's not happy. But according to the interview, he's sort of saying how he's really enjoying it at Tottenham, enjoying, the teammates and the way that they train and, and wants to play. So hopefully, I mean, the guy's a good player. It's just that he just gets injured all the time. That's the only problem. I'm sure if he had a run of 5 or 6 games, he would be the player that we initially signed. So I think we have to. It doesn't look like he's going to go in January. So not that we can really sort of sell players in January anyway because of the length, the squad at the moment with the players out and suspended. So yeah. So what else is happening? Not a lot. Scottish Championship, Ayr 0, Dunfermline 2, Rafe 0 or Broth 0, Queen's Park 0, Airdrie 0. You got Falkirk 3, and I have to take my glasses off. Falkirk 3, Stirling Albion 0. Kelty and Alloa has been postponed, so some very unhappy fans there. Elgin 0, Peter, whatever Peter is in Scotland, 0. I used to work with a lady who used to live in Canary Wharf and lived the high life, one of the shakers and movers in the financial worlds and that. And she decided to move up to Elgin, wanted something different. So, it just goes to show that times can change. Aston Villa 1, Burnley 0. Let's just come up on the scoreboard. Just trying to see who scored the goal. And obviously the inevitable VAR. No, they're not going to tell me who the scorer is. A player scored for Boreham Wood, Lee Nodlove. I wonder if that's any relation to the Nodlove that used to play for Coventry all those years ago. He was a decent player, in my opinion. So what changes would you like to see me make whilst I'm on here? Free beer for subscribers. You can do that. Free beer for subscribers or free drinks for subscribers. It's still Crystal Palace 1, Brentford 1. That's after 29 minutes. The first 2 goals coming in the first 15 minutes. Oh, the goal scorer for Aston Villa was Leon Bailey, who's playing pretty well this season, scoring quite a few goals. Again, that's another player that everyone seems to Tottenham wanted to go for, but we never went for. So. Not a lot happening. So what's everyone think about the game against Bournemouth tomorrow then? What's the predictions for that? I think we're going to win. I was just looking at Bournemouth's record. And I always like it when a team has a good record because I always think the better record you've got is that you're closer to losing, aren't you, really? So that's the way I look at records. Records have to be broken. So if we look on Sunday, Spurs versus Bournemouth. Let's see now. Bournemouth they've won their last 4 games. They beat Fulham 3-0 at home. They won 3-2 at Forest, although I think they were a little bit lucky with the sending off in that, the second yellow card and sending off. They won at Manchester United 3-0, and they won at Crystal Palace 2-0. They drew at home to Aston Villa 2-2, which is a lot better than what we did at home to Aston Villa. And they won 3-1 away at Sheffield United. So they're in a run of really good form. And another, obviously, a player that's in top form at the moment is Solanke. He's scoring goals for fun at the moment. I think when he played for Liverpool, he didn't really do a lot. And now suddenly he's found his level, I guess. And he's banging the goals in for Villa. But we always get players that always do that. Players will always go and have a real streak of form. I think you've got to do it consistently. And I think that's why Harry Kane was such a brilliant player when he was at Tottenham, because every time he'd knock the goals in, they'd all say, oh, yeah, it's only for 1 season. You've got to do it 2 seasons. And he did it for 2 seasons. Oh, well, he needs to do it 3 seasons. And he just kept going. And every season he banged the goals in. So that's what you have to be with a top striker. And at the moment, Solanke's doing the business. Will he do it consistently? I guess only time will tell. I mean, it's coinciding with the fact that Villa are on a good run, so that helps. But I think Villa. Oh, and speaking of Aston Villa, Burnley have equalised. Zaki Dunini has scored after 31 minutes, so it's Villa 1, Burnley 1. And that's another thing. What do people think about the game coming up against Burnley in the Cup? Will Postecoglou field a strong side? Will he do what he did? I mean, he can't really make that many changes because he hasn't got that many changes to make. But will he play the young kids? Which would be ironical because everyone's been calling out to see the likes of Donnelly and Dorrington. Will we do it in the Cup game? What side will Burnley put out? Burnley are struggling. Will they put out a second team? Which it's quite sad that some Tottenham fans, myself included, are hoping that they do so that we can win the game. But I think Tottenham should win the game anyway. But it might be interesting what they do with that. So, and wow, Hamilton Academicals are getting A levels. They're now 5-0 up against Edinburgh City. So they're going for the honours degree. And Bromley 1, Ebbsfleet 1. Bromley, that's somewhere South London, I do believe. I do believe that's where people like Susie and the Banshees originate from. I think they during the punk era was called the Bromley contingent. So there again, you don't only get football with me, you get popular culture as well. So any questions? Paul Merson is the guy reporting from Man City, Sheffield United. But it's still, Man City 1, Sheffield United 0. And we have Donna Cullen in the chat. Not sure it's the real Donna Cullen, but hello, Donna. How are you? Mr. Phillip is currently with the grandkids, so he'll be coming in and out, and Dermot will be here soon. So. And the sign that we're going to have goals is the fact that they've gone to adverts. I guess the fun thing about Christmas being over is the fact we won't get the wanky perfume and aftershave adverts anymore. So, which they always seem to make an appearance just about a month before Christmas. So, are we generally pleased with Postecoglou and the progress that Tottenham have made? I am. I'll admit that. I'm thinking that... oh, hello, Donna. What's your name? Mr. Blue Sofa Songs. No, that is the music channel I have where I basically write and record my own songs and put them on Blue Sofa Songs. So, that's my channel. Please subscribe. 180 subscribers. So let's make it 200. Some more goals in Scotland. Raith Rovers 1, Arbroath 0. Queen's Park 1, Airdrieonians 0. I wonder how many people they get to these games. I always remember when the football polls used to go throughout the whole year, and they obviously used to do the Australian games during the off season. And they posted a picture of a game which was watched by about 20 people and saying, "Oh, this game could, could be the reason that you become a millionaire, if in the football pool." So, Donna, are you single? I am indeed. Sad to say, but yes, I am indeed single. In fact, if you see the background, you can actually see my blue sofa. So. Still adverts. It's now Falkirk 4, Stirling Albion 0. Another Brad Spencer has scored the goal there. Motherwell 3, Livingston 1. Theonius Bear has scored. Kilmarnock 0, Dundee 1. Luke McCowan. Probably not related to an Australian rules footballer called McGowan, actually. Well, the guy reporting from Motherwell, there looks to be a fair big crowd at Motherwell. Still no more goals in the Premiership or Premier League, whatever you want to call it. Looks like they've had lots of pretty bad weather up in Scotland. There's a few games postponed. Dermot will be back in 2 minutes. Oh, there's something happening at Aston Villa. It's 1-1 on the scoreboard, but it's come up with VAR, so not sure what's going on there. I'm not. My lip reading abilities is not that good. I would presume it's maybe a penalty decision. They've gone over to Mike Doyle, or whatever his name is. Oh, there you go. My name has come up on the screen. I got no control over the screen, I have to say. No idea what's going on at Villa Park. And we welcome back Mr. Dermot. I've made a few changes since you've been away,
Okay.
Dermot. Apparently, all subscribers get free beer now. So,
all right, that's fine. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. You know what, Brad? It's been one of those days.
Yeah.
Where it's just, you can do something in 5 minutes, but instead of 5 minutes, it takes you half an hour.
Oh, I've been there. There's been a goal, by the way. Crystal Palace 2, Brentford 1 now.
Woohoo! Now, to cap it all off, I'm waiting for my Sky Go to launch on the other monitor, and it's taking forever. It's having one of these days. Do you know what? I'm gonna have my time in the month. That's what it's gonna do. Anyway, big up, guys. Says Chris. Donna Cullen. Mr. Dermot is very handsome. Thank you. Don't know. Thank you for that. I take that as a compliment, but I'm taken, so hands off. Wogman, Mr. Dermot. Are you single, Mr. Blue Sofa Song?
Yes, I've answered that. Yes, I am indeed, sad to say. Although
so maybe we should rename this, Brad, First Dates instead of Premier Saturday.
I forgot to do on dates. So
Yeah.
Do they still happen? Do they still happen in the modern world? I don't know.
They do. Apparently. Well, they did nearly 7 years ago for me, but that's about it. I don't know what happens now. This is not working for me for some.
Oh, the goal scored by Palace was Eze.
Oh,
so a decent player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I liked him when he was at Brentford. He was at Brentford, wasn't he? I think Eze.
I don't know what's happened there.
Yeah, speaking
there,
of
Brad?
are
we live? Are we?
Yeah. Yeah, there's still chat.
Are we live?
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Brad's back now.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be working now, Brad. The first thing that's come up on my Sky Go is the Super Mario Brothers, the movie. Which, to be fair, I want to watch, actually, because I'm a massive Super Mario fan. So let's get this cracking. Thank you for being so patient and understanding today. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, Wolves are 1-0 up, Philip. Brad, at Everton. Kilman after 25 minutes. Crystal Palace have just scored, as Brad has just said. Izzard Quinn in the South have just equalised against Anna Athletic. Craig McGoffin, 38 minutes. Of course, Celtic beat Rangers earlier today.
I saw that. Rangers has been on a bit of decent form lately. So They still can't break that hoodoo. So,
look who it is. It's Dermo, who has just been on the run of stealing his Tesco shopping without paying. He could be heard shouting from the car through the car park. Come on, you Spurs! Yeah. No, they're very good Tesco's. I asked them, could they bring? We were supposed to pick my shopping up between 5 and 6, click and collect. And I rang them up and said, "Can you bring it forward for me?" I'll give Tesco's big credit today. They actually bought. I could pick my shopping up earlier.
All right, that's pretty. Yeah,
big up to Tesco's.
The only problem with Tesco's, they've done a refurb in Ealing, and it's smaller. It's just like I used to like it because it's big, but now it's actually smaller.
Chris is saying, "Get yourself on that date island nonsense, Brad."
Yeah, there was an Australian version of it where one of the girls was seriously saying that we know that the moon is bigger than the Earth, don't you? And she was like serious. So,
oh Lord.
There's a goal at Villa Park. Oh no, a goal at Villa Park. It's Villa 2, Burnley 1 now. Musa Diaby scored after 42 minutes.
Ooh. Now, the latest I'm getting now, I did put up about Conor Gallagher. I will give you the very latest that I've got. The latest is that I have done it as a short guy, so I hope you've seen it up on the channel. But Tottenham and Chelsea are in advanced talks, are very close to reaching agreement for the transfer of Conor Gallagher for around €40 million, which works out to be about £34 million, Brad.
Yeah,
are we the team of good deals at the moment?
It depends how they've decided to structure the bidding, because you know what Daniel Levy's like. He'll want to offer the barest minimum. I hope those days are over, and I hope that he's basically given the budget to, whoever is the other guy, Scott Munn, whoever, and they don't do this because it's obvious. And Postecoglou has been saying many, many times how they need to get the business done early.
Yeah,
and the fact that that would have been relevant before we had players, injured, so I'm hoping that they just basically go in there, pay what Chelsea are asking, or whatever club they're going are asking, and they get the deals done, because we can't really afford to wait the whole of January, to get a player in. So it's and we need more than one player. So
yeah. I hope this is working all right for you. Apparently, we've got. I don't know if it's coming up, but the Wi-Fi might be a little bit dodgy. I don't know why. I actually don't know why that is. It's coming up, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of investigations, Brad. But I'm surely we will all keep you up to date with the goals. That's gone to VAR. There's a VAR now at Villa Park, Brad.
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I think unless they're still talking about it, I haven't gone back to the guy reporting on the game, so I'm presuming that the VAR decision has finished.
Yeah,
because they just spend too much time on it. It's
yeah, they do.
Just look at it. If you can't, you have to watch. If you have to look at something 5 or 6 times to work out whether it's real or not, then just don't give it. It's not that difficult,
Exactly. What I'm going to do is, Brad, I'm going to log out and log back in. I think that might fix the problem. So just give us 2 minutes. It's been one of those days, Brad. I tell you one thing, it's just been a nightmare. Okay, back in 2 minutes, guys. Sorry. Just going to do this now. So leave studio.
Well, we're in added time at Selhurst Park. Still 2-1 to Brentford. To Palace, sorry. And there's no other changes in the scores. There's a very glum-looking man at Motherwell.
The very glum-looking man on my TV right now. He's looking rougher than a homeless person. His name is PM. We'll just keep it as PM. Aston Villa, that goal's gone in, so that's 2-1. So that's been Ayr United. I'm losing 2-1 to Dunfermline. Cone Rangers have equalised against Montrose, so that's 1-1 there, Brad. Look, is it important tomorrow, Brad? Look, as we're coming up to half time, but is it important that we end the year off on a high note?
I think the attitude should be that, why should it make any difference that it's the last game before the end of the year? It's just win every game we play. And I actually said at the start of the season that I expect Tottenham to win all their home games. I know they won't, but I expect every home game we play, even if we're playing at home to Man City or wherever it might be, every home game, if you want to be there at the top and challenge for things, you have to win your home games. And I as I say, I will expect to win every home game we play. No excuse. I mean, okay, yeah, you go to Man City and you think, well, I'll take a draw. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not a problem. But when you play at home, we are as good as, especially our first 11 is as good as anyone in the league on their day.
Yeah.
So it's. I think we should win. So tomorrow, again, it's an important game. We need to get ourselves back on track. We can't go on that run that we did where we lost 4 games. So, Thursday was a disappointment, but they didn't play well.
No, it was a massive disappointment.
Yeah, it was simple as that. But I had to laugh, and I'm speaking from experience here. I've been supporting Tottenham for, longer than 50 years.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, everyone seems to think when we get a decent win, so we're going to win everything now. And I was watching some of the predictions on the Brighton game, and Brighton are a good team. They're a decent team. They've got an attacking team that are going to play against a team with a weakening defence. And yet nearly everyone in these predictions was saying, Spurs will win. Yeah, no problems, no problems. And I said, well, have you followed Spurs for long? It's like, that it doesn't work that way. Hopefully we'll get that way, that we will go into these games and win them. But we've just got to be patient. And, we're only halfway. We're potentially 1/8 into, we are 1/8 into Postecoglou's contract, because he's got a 4-year contract.
Yeah,
halfway through the season. So that's an 1/8 of it. So, and we're in 5th.
Yeah, I've seen so much bullshit, and I'm big up to. I want to say this quickly. Big up to GJ Samuel as well. He's become a YouTube member. What's he become?
Well,
welcome to the Madders membership, DJ Samuel. Thank you so much. It means a hell of a lot to me and Philip and all the gang here at THFC till I die. Thank you so much. And look out, we've got loads of members only stuff coming out after Christmas. We want to get in contact with you to do members only shows as well. Talk about your favorite Spurs game. When Dave does your history, why you become a Tottenham fan, I'm going to go down the route your favorite Spurs game. So we're going to get one of you on and talk about your favorite Spurs game and Spurs player of your lifetime supporting Tottenham. So look out to that. That is happening in the new year. But loads of member stuff. So big up GJ Samuel. Thank you so much. And I also want to say a massive thank you to Wayne Bonney yesterday, who donated so much to the channel yesterday. Wayne, thank you so much. Really appreciated. Me and Philip both did appreciate that. You will hear us thanking you again in our prediction show, which we're going up tonight. I think 11 o'clock that's going out tonight. Me and Philip's pre-match thoughts on the game today. Massive fan of the Plumbers, Domo. Say you are, Carl. I say you are.
Yeah, I've seen a few movies with plumbers in, but we won't go there.
No. That is Brad's alone time.
It's half time at Wolves, by the way. They've just walked on.
A bottle of Baileys and tissues, and we'll just leave it there. Half time, is it, where, Brad?
Yeah, it's Wolves 1, Everton 0 half time, and Kidderminster 1, Boreham Wood 2 at half time.
Oh, come on, Boreham Wood.
And they're still playing at Palace. They're still playing at Selhurst Park. Yeah, they're in the. There's 6 minutes injury time. They're in the 6 minute of injury time as we
and there
speak.
were 7 minutes at Villa Park as well. They are beating Burnley 2-1. This is late. This is Aston Villa 2, Burnley 1. Still playing. Crystal Palace 2, Brentford 1. Still playing. We've got we've got Manchester United City 1, Sheffield United 0. That is half time. Watery after 14 minutes. Also half time. Wolves 1, Everton 0. Kilman after 25 minutes. I think it is half time now at, just half time now at Wolves. They're winning 1-0. Tell you one thing, Brad, there's some interesting scorelines coming out of the Premier League today. Everton looking like they could be facing their second defeat in a row. Wolves looking to have a very good Christmas, by the way, after beating Chelsea on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Luton today, Chelsea just about beating Luton. Where are you going with this, Brad? And Man City just, they only 1-0 up against Sheffield United, and we also what happened last week against Luton. Where are you going with this? Let's start with Man City first. I've been saying for a while, Brad, that Man City are off the ball. They've lost the eye of the tiger. I don't think they're going to win the Premier League this year. And everyone's saying to me, Dermot, you're talking bullshit here, man. Man City going to win the league when they get certain players back. I don't think they are. I think Liverpool are actually more likely to win the league than Manchester United. So who are your top three, do you think, fighting for the title this year? Who's in your top three?
Well, I think you've mentioned two of them. And sad to say, I think Arsenal will be the other one. I think your Villas and your Tottenhams will have their runs, have good runs, and be there or thereabouts. But I think, Villa, to be honest, they're only a season ahead of Tottenham, aren't they? Really, they've had Emery there for probably a full season now, isn't it? Because I think he came in about halfway through last season. So they're both those teams are both work in progress. Where Arsenal have been there or thereabouts for the last 2 or 3 seasons. Man City obviously have. Liverpool surprised me, to be honest, because they've got a fairly new team, but they seem to be winning games. I think with Man City, I think now that De Bruyne's back, I think he's on the bench there apparently, but I think that'll make a big difference to them. And if they keep Rodri, I think Rodri and De Bruyne are their two key players.
Yeah, I think so.
And Man City have shown in the past that they go on runs towards the end of the season. So, they're what? If we're 6 points behind, they must be 5. So it's I think it's a very open season. I really do. I wouldn't like to predict. I think last season you thought, well, Arsenal are going for it, but it's the first time they've gone for it. They're going to falter. Man City have done it before. They'll overtake them, and that's what happened. This season, I think it's a little more difficult to call. I think Man City, and I think when I said earlier about not wanting it being, I don't believe in that. I think mentality still comes into it, and I think if you've won everything and you're in that team that have won everything, I think it still is difficult to get that back, that mentality to win it again. And this is why your top managers have been successful, like your Ferguson's. Ferguson was always able to turn it around, bring in some new players and go again. And Man City have been doing that.
You look back to the Fergie time, Brad. Just want to get to the chat very quickly. We've got Carl Simpson. Domo's favourite game was the 7-1 Newcastle in the 90s. No, it wasn't. It was not. My favourite game was when we beat Southampton 4-2 and scored 4 goals in 4 minutes on a Good Friday.
Yeah.
And I found out, I was there with my dad and my brother. Ian S. was there that day. I swear to God, you would have been there that day.
I was in Australia. So
all I remember was there was a protest outside the stadium, right, about playing the game on Good Friday. It was so funny. It was like you can't be playing the game on Good Friday. And then the following year, every game was played on Good Friday. It was like, right, cracking game though, cracking game. I forget. I think Sheringham, Barnby,
Anderton,
and Neil Roddick.
Yeah,
I think they're the ones that got the 4 goals. I remember a free kick somewhere along the line.
I've seen it I've seen sort of recordings of it because I think that's when we had the Barnby, Sheringham, Anderton sort of trio, didn't we?
Yeah, that was the game after we lost to Arsenal in the FA Cup semi-final. If I remember rightly.
Right, Wayne saying 92-93 season, which will probably be about correct. Yeah.
Because we played them on the Sunday, and then anyway, very quickly, Premier League: Villa 2, Burnley 1, Palace 2, Brentford 1, Luton 2, Chelsea 3 full time, Manchester City 1, Sheffield United 0, Wolves 1, Everton 0. So they're 4 half times, 1 full time. Luton that should have beaten. Poch is going to get the sack 3. There you go.
Yeah, he seems to be. Yeah, every time you sort of think he's in trouble, they pull off a victory.
No, I'm actually speaking to somebody this morning, and from what I was being told, he's still in a lot of trouble.
Really?
Yeah. They're not giving them a lot of time to turn this around. So
well, they've been trigger happy, haven't they, with the last few managers? So you do wonder.
I always said if Abramovich was there, would Poch be gone by now? And the answer to that is probably yeah.
Well, this new guy, this American guy, seems just as bad. He's just, to keep changing it. I guess, I guess, if you're American, you probably haven't got much of an idea of that football. You have to build up teams and that's all. And certainly with Pochettino, he has to build a team up. So, it's a win now thing, isn't it? With as is the modern world, basically. Yeah. So
he's a traitor. That's what he is. He joined.
Well, I don't feel comfortable at all with him being at Chelsea. It did disappoint me. I know that's, I should be an adult about it, but no, it did disappoint me. Eltel Cockerell, afternoon, Dermot and Brad. Hello, Eltel Cockerell.
Big up Eltel as well. Big up Eltel, afternoon, Dermot and Brad. National League, these were all half times. Barnet 0, Southend 0, Burnley, Bromley 2, Ebbsfield 1, Kidderminster 1, Bournemouth 2, Oldham 1, Hartlepool 2. As you can see, there's no League 1, League 2 or whatever. They've skipped that. So it's given me and Brad a bit of an easy Premier Saturday just to kick back and follow what's happening. But yeah, we're going to get to the Scottish Leagues. A massive win for Celtic today. Come on, you boys in hoops. We can do it. We can win the league. I was having a discussion with somebody in the group chat last night, Brad. I don't know if you saw it, about Ange. And I made the point, I'm a massive Celtic fan, and I've been a massive Celtic fan since I was a little kid. So it's not the case I've only been a Celtic fan for 2 years. I've been a massive Celtic fan since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And Tottenham and Celtic have always been my teams in England and Celtic in Scotland. And I've watched a lot of Celtic this season, and they're not the same side under Brendan Rodgers. It's like even my Celtic friends who were up there said the fans are missing Ange. There's something missing in the club. And I think we are so lucky to have Ange at our club.
Yeah, pardon me. I totally agree. I mean, and I don't go with this, it's the Premier League now, now it's going to be found out. But he's done well in every league he's been in. Yeah. Australian League, Japanese League, Scottish League, he's done well. So why wouldn't he do well in the Premier League? It just all that's different is that the caliber of players are better. That's the only difference. But that goes for Tottenham as well. So, you've still got a coach. You've still got to coach the same sort of tactics and have the same players that fit your system. I don't go with this. It's a more difficult league. It's. And he made a really good point actually in his first press conference where he says, when you're at Celtic, you've got to win.
Yeah.
There's no, let's qualify for the Champions League. It's no, you've got to win everything.
I've said this before. You have to win what's in front of you up there. It's not as easy as everyone thinks it is. This is the latest in the Scottish Premiership. Of course, Celtic big and Rangers today. 2-1. We've got Ayr United 2, Dunfermline. Ayr United 1, Dunfermline 2. Inverness City Thistle 0, Merton 0. Queen's Park 1, Ayr 0. Wraith Rovers 1, Arbroath 0. That's in the Scottish Championship. Only one game, of course, in the Premier League, and that was Celtic beat Rangers 2-1. Scottish League 1, these are half times, +1 postponement. Edinburgh City 0, Hamilton 5. Fuck me, that's a stinging first half.
Yeah, we've been talking about that game. Hamilton Academicals getting A-levels in their game there. So
Falkirk 4, Stirling 0. Shit, another good game. Kelty Hearts and Alloa postponed. Montrose 1, Cove Rangers 1. Queen of the South 1, Arnon 1. See, I'm trying to do the old-fashioned, how they did it back in the day sort of, man. The person that I looked forward to hearing. They got a new fella now on Sky Sports, and he sounds like he's pissed every time he does it. Anyway, Scottish League 2. Bonnie Big Rovers against Spartans FC is postponed. Oh, damn. I was looking forward to that game. Clyde 0. Stonehouse Muir 1. Egan 1. Peterhead 0. 4-4-0. East 5-0. And Stranraer and Dumbarton postponed. Big up to Tequila. Big up the chief scene. The chief man.
Tequila.
As I call him, he is the Master Chief. If anyone's played Xbox and know what I'm talking about, the Master Chief, you know what I'm talking about. Halo, Tequila is the Master Chief. There you go, Tequila. He runs a great gaming channel as well, by the way. Chris says, why don't you, you don't need to talk about League One. No, I don't. And Daniela says, Leighton Orient got well-deserved point, but based on second half, we should have won. And here's your favourite person in the whole wide world, Gary Neville, talking more crap. Wonder what he's saying today.
What an interesting game that is. Nottingham Forest at home to Man United.
It is very interesting.
Mr. Nuno as the Forest new manager.
Yeah. Gary Neville's saying at the moment he loves garden gnomes. He has 3 of them at home. He's saying he loves Nuno. He wants him to be the next manager of Manchester United. And he's saying, yeah, he's great. He's great. He's going to do it for us. Yeah. Ten Hag is an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm not going to wash his bald head anymore. I think Sir Alex is going to do it now for the next few weeks until he gets the sack. And then Nuno's coming in. And I've already bought my garden gnomes. Look, he's still nodding about the garden gnomes, Brad. Look, garden gnomes is, look, I've got one this big. And he said, I've got one even bigger. And my club Salford are in a bit of financial mess at the moment, but don't worry, I'm going to rob the Bank of Manchester tonight and nick all their money. Now he's been asked, are you going to take a loan from the Glazers? Now he's nodding. He's nodding. He's shrugging his shoulders on that question, Brad. Saying, well, do you know what? I don't know. I have to think about it a little bit. But you know what? If they offer me a good loan deal, pay back, £10 every week or £5 a week, I might be happy with that. But I might go to the government as well, see can I get a loan from them. I'm such a massive, passionate Conservative fan, and I love Boris Johnson, and I just really want to. I really want to. I'm going to get myself to a hell lot of trouble now, so I'm going to stop now. Now he's putting his arms in the air. He's shouting for Nuno again. Just come back onto garden gnomes. You hearing all this as well, Brad? He loves his garden gnomes, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, he's not exactly tall, is he? So
no.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said to you the last time I was on the show that I actually don't mind him. I think, I mean, he's a lefty like myself, so so we share some views on.
He's confessing his love for Nuno now as the new Man United manager. Look at him, arms are out. I want Nuno in. And I want Cara. His mate at Sky Sports as his assistant. And I just think, bring Graham Souness as well as director of football. He says, bring the Liverpool mentality into Man United. That will get us back winning. I think everyone now is well known that Dermotron has gone completely bonkers. Brad's sitting there thinking, he's lost the plot. DJ Samuel, I feel for Forest win today. I do too, actually. I'm actually doing that game with Colin at half 5, guys, here on THFC Till I Die. And tomorrow as well, I think we're the first channel to do this. We're not bringing you just one watch along. Oh, no. We're bringing you 2 at the same time. We are going to follow.
That'll be interesting.
Me and Philip are covering the Tottenham game, of course. Bobby and the gang over Full-Time Sports Network will be covering the Arsenal Fulham game. So you have a choice tomorrow. So 2 games at the same time as we bring you all the latest Premier League games, watch-alongs live on THFC Till I Die as we grow as a sports channel, really. As we start going to cover the rugby, we're going to cover Formula 1 in March. Hopefully Brad's going to come onto the Formula 1. And just drag him along, him and Philip.
Is Nigel Mansell still racing?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's coming back just for you, Brad. He's going to... Apparently, he needs a special tablet to get into the car to make his car bigger. But apparently, it can work. So that's the latest what we're hearing. We're preparing to get totally wrecked tonight to get in, mate. How are you going? How are you doing, Wayne? Wayne Bonner. I'm gold. He's going to do the same. What are you going to watch? What have you been smoking, Dermo? Nothing. I'm just telling you exactly what Gary Neville's been saying, Carl. I have no idea. Too many films to choose, but probably go for the 80s.
If you want to watch a decent TV series on Sky, I've only watched the first season of it. I've got the second season to watch. The Lazarus Project. Thought that was very, very good.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, I've only seen the first season. but I thought that was really, really good. So I'm looking for. I've sort of been binge watching it a bit over the Christmas holidays. But
another one to watch as well is Cobra. Watch that as well. That is fantastic. It really is good, I have to say.
But I do like the thing about the Lazarus Project. I mean, the science fiction, which obviously interests me, but it's got good dialogue in it as well. It's really, it's even sort of comedy in it. Really, it's very, very good. And I don't normally watch series. I do have to pick and choose my TV series very carefully because I get bored very easy. If I go to watch a series and I see it's on for like 29 episodes, I'm very unlikely to watch it. So.
Do you know what? I'm just seeing the trailer for the Super Mario Brothers on Sky. I can see a little bit of Luigi and Philip, I can just see me as Mario, Philip as Luigi. I could just see him. Carl as Princess Peach. As we're going to rescue him. He's going to kill me. I swear.
Well, we know that Mario is Nintendo, don't we? And,
we do, yeah.
And Sonic the Hedgehog is Sega. So when I worked for Sega, someone in HR told me that they were interviewing someone that wanted to join Sega, and they asked him, why, what's your interest in games? He said, "Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Mario."
I bet that. I tell you one thing: the gaming industry at the moment. Just quickly going on to that, while guys we're on half time here. Microsoft and Xbox have stolen a march, haven't they, on the game, and also buying Activision and all them other studios as well. I've got an Xbox, and I tell you one thing: the Game Pass is the best in the world. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, Sega these days, when I work for them, and now are into the actually making the games rather than the actual consoles, which they used to. But I haven't. Certainly, I was there for 10 years, and they long finished with the consoles. But they're more producing the games now, and they've got like the studios that do it. The games industry made a killing over COVID. Because obviously people were indoors a lot. So and I was very lucky in the fact that I sort of retained my job there because the games industry was doing really, really well, and working from home was the option. So hang
on, we might have some breaking news. Don and Colin is saying that I'm now going to check that, Brad. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave you to just man the thing. I've got to go and ring my source.
Or you could check Twitter if you follow Fabrizio Romano.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't trust the bloke. After he came out and said your man had a head injury when he had a heart attack.
All right.
I don't trust him after that. I'm sorry. I don't. But look, we'll let Brad read out what's there and let him have his talk on it. And I'm going to quickly ring my source. So give me 2 minutes and I will be back. So what do you reckon to that, Brad? Are you happy?
Yeah, look, we need a centre back. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how good this player is. But if Postecoglou wants him and they're paying, I heard that he wants to come to Tottenham. If they want him and he wants to come to Tottenham, that's great. And if we're going to offer that money and they accept it and there's no haggling and he's registered before, hopefully he can play in the cup. So yeah, that's good. That's a good start if that is happening. It's a really good start. So.
I'm quickly going on to X and going to look at Fab, but as far as I'm concerned, that is breaking news. Now I'm waiting to get this confirmed. I have sent a text to my source, so I'm waiting to. I'm just trying to find Fabrizio Romero. Now his 17 hours ago. 3 hours ago, exclusive. Tottenham are prepared to send first available. No, there's nothing there on his site. I'm looking on Fabrizio Romero's site at the moment. So I am following him. So there's no news there, and I'm waiting to.
Well, they're saying on the Spurs Express are saying Fabrizio Romano on YouTube. And they're saying Ange Postecoglou believes Radu Dragusin should be perfect for the Tottenham project. The fee will be around 30 million euros. Negotiations are advancing and everything is going well. So that was 12 minutes ago. So
if me and Carl use similar sources. So if Carl says it's true, then it's true. Tottenham have their first signing, guys. Tottenham have sealed the deal for Radu for a package worth 32.5 million plus add-ons. He is a centre back. Brad, I'm a bit shell-shocked because Tottenham have bought somebody before the start of the transfer window. I mean, is Daniel Levy feeling okay, or is it the boomerangs that have gone around his?
You'd like to think that Daniel Levy. I mean, the guy's a successful businessman, so you think he'd be reasonably intelligent and would have enough intelligence. I mean, you don't have to be a football expert to know that if you get players in quickly, you integrate them into the team quicker. And if he can read, like we've all been hearing what Postecoglou said about Brendan Johnson. Oh, he joined late, so he's taking him longer to get in with the team. So it doesn't take an average idiot to work out that the quicker you get players in, the better it is. So hopefully he's sort of realised that and has decided to push the boat out.
And to be fair, look, me and Carl, I trust Carl very much. Him and me use the same source. And I know if I don't get it, Carl will. I'm just double checking. Right. Sorry, Brad. I'm just getting news all the time, so I'm just sorry.
Yeah, I'm sort of checking my sources.
Yeah. I'm hearing it's true as well. I'm just waiting on one more source to come back to me. For what I'm hearing, it is true, and also the Conor Gallagher, that could actually be completed within the next 24 to 48 hours, Brad. So that'd be two players in before the window starts, before New Year's Day.
If they're going to sign Conor Gallagher, they certainly want to sign him before Chelsea play in the FA Cup. So he's not cup tied. And I mean, we definitely need some players.
Look, and DJ Carl says I would imagine we'll hear later today is because Tonga would take a lot longer to complete. That deal is not dead in the water as many people think it is, by the way. That may be the middle of the window or the end of the window deal.
Oh, there's been a goal. It's Wolves 2, Everton 0. Mateus Cunha has scored after 53 minutes.
Yeah.
So Wolves' good form continues, and Everton a little bit of a bad. Yeah, although to be fair, let's be honest.
Yeah,
they probably were a bit lucky not to get anything at Tottenham from what I saw the other week.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going to give you a bit more on this, Carl, as well. Now, I have been telling everyone that Gallagher deal will be done within the next 24, 48 hours. We could even get a here we go today. And also Højbjerg is very close to joining Juventus. Now, that is a loan to buy, but the price that Juventus are going to pay is 25 million. That is the obligation. So that deal could go through today as well. So it all depends. Once one comes in, then Højbjerg will go out. It's basically one in, one out. So that basically...
You just excuse me for 2 seconds. I need to shut the window.
Yeah, that's okay. And then you got Hugo as well leaving yesterday, Brad. The Deadwood are being moved out quite quickly.
There we go.
So look, it's looking a good say. We've got DJ saying for the first time in 23 years and a half, Levy didn't leave it. Look, for the first time in 23 years and a half, Levy didn't leave it. It's too bloody last minute. Yeah,
well, we all got excited during Conte's first transfer window, didn't we? Because we got players in reasonably quickly in that one in the summer because we got Basuma, we got Richarlison, and then suddenly it stopped. We all got, it's changed, and then suddenly, zoom.
Yeah, I'm hearing the same thing as well, Carl, about Dyer as well. I'm waiting on a massive bunch of news to come through from my personal. Carl, do you want to come on? If I send you a link, do you want to pop on me and Brad, and maybe you can you use the same source as me. If you're talking to the same person I use, maybe you can keep people up to date because I'm too busy doing this with Brad and that. So I'll send you the link. You can come on as well.
The thing about Dyer is if they sell him for free, then he'll go.
He won't go for free.
His contract ends at the end of the season, so he'll go for free anyway. So they might as well just say, "Well, you have him for nothing anyway." So
no, that's not going to happen, Brad. I know. I think I'm hearing that there will be a fee involved. Levy will not want him going for nothing. He doesn't want him going for nothing. He doesn't want him sitting in the team until he doesn't want Dyer to leave for nothing. It's the same Harry Kane situation again. He wants to get money out of it, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, but I think with Kane, we're talking a lot of money. I think with Dyer, what would it be worth on the transfer market? It's not getting any games. 20 million, maybe.
Well, we bought 5, so he put. I would accept 10. And if he wants to go back to Sporting Lisbon as well, there's a player after him as well at Sporting Lisbon as well, Brad, that we're looking at. And I will give you the latest of that now. Where is it now?
And also the amount of money we're paying him wages whilst he's at the club on the bench.
Yeah.
So.
Where is it now? I did have it there. Levy going to try to get a pack of. Yeah, he is. Yeah, they're looking at Tottenham have made aware of price tag for Sporting centre back. John Klinkloner. He's another player that Tottenham. He's worth 60 million. Levy's not going to pay 60 million. I may say that if we are going to go for him, he wants to go to Sporting as well, Dyer. So there may be a player swap plus. We'll make it a decent offering. Very quickly, Brad. While I'm waiting to get the information I'm after. The Italian League said yesterday, and I was talking to Philip about it this morning, have said like any team that joins the Super League will be excluded from Serie A from next season, including all the competitions, the league, Italian competitions, and Europe as well. UEFA have actually backed the Italian League and said, right, okay, you want to do that, we're backing you. Does the Premier League and the German League and the Spanish League have to follow the Italian League now? Is this the way?
I thought that's what the whole point of the court ruling was. That the international courts came out and said that you can't do that. So
you can, because in a way, teams are breaching contracts. They're in a contract with their own league, so they want to play in the Super League and also play in the Italian League. And the Italian League is saying, "Well, right, okay, if you want to go and play in the Super League, we'll let you go." Right. But you're not going to be part of our league. So I think it's the right way to go myself, Brad, but personally.
I mean, it could be the situation where the Premier League doesn't have to do anything, because at the moment, I think the clubs got so burnt by not reading the room the last time it happened and they've been pretty quick to come out now and say, no, we're not interested. And what is the Super League but a glorified European Cup competition? So why would you want to play in it when if you're Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, whatever, you're trying to get in the Champions League anyway? So it's a bit of a non-starter for me. Again, people with money not being able to read the room and thinking that we're going to suddenly because we're putting all these teams in it and we play all around the world, everyone's going to go, oh well, brilliant. People like their stuff. People are very local. People in general are very local. You like your local teams. You like that sort of community, So, I can't see it being a go. I mean, has anyone heard about the Saudi League? How that's going? Anyone know who's winning that? Yeah, anyone know who's winning that?
No, I don't even watch it.
Exactly. So
I've got to put another bit of news. An hour ago, this broke.
There's another goal. There's Man City now 2-0 up.
Alvarez.
Yeah, gives me a score.
2-0. Apparently, Thiago Silva was not happy at full time. Pochettino comments on the football said Thiago is like this, always moaning and never happy. But that's good. He's 39, still playing. I think sometimes we're there on the pitch, but sometimes it's the small details.
Oh, sorry to butt in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sander Berger has been sent off for Burnley, a second bookable offence. And it's now Wolves 3, Everton 0. Craig Dawson scoring after 61 minutes.
That's Wolves game all day long. That the Wolves have had a great Christmas. Fantastic Christmas. They really have.
And it's now Crystal Palace 3, Brentford 1.
Oh, Brentford.
And again, it's Eze scoring.
And a player we've been linked with.
Sorry, Elisi, the other one.
But still 2-1 to Villa. Aaron United have equalised against Dunfermline. Bromley are now 3-1 up against Ebbsfleet as well. So that's in the National League. The Scottish Premier League, Aberdeen 0, St Mirren 1. Hearts 0, Ross County 1, Kilmarnock 0, Dundee 1, Motherwell 3, Livingston 1. So that is the latest from the Scottish Premier League. Carl Simpson is saying, Brad, the Super League is a jealous competition for all those foreign teams jealous of the Premier League.
Yeah, I just don't.
I agree. It's a stupid idea. I mean, hasn't the Champions League now become the Super League?
Well, effectively, yeah. I mean, it's huge, isn't it? So, you know, when you used to go back in the day when you had to win the league to play in the European Cup, and now you can come fourth or even fifth maybe to do it. So it is virtually, and you play a round robin league system to get into the knockout stages. So it is effectively a Super League anyway. So
I'm still waiting to get to see what's happening.
I'd like to thank Tequila because he's put my channel up. Thank you, Tequila.
Yeah, we always do that, Brad.
Yeah.
We Tequila does this. We always tried to put people we know's channels up. So Tequila takes it upon himself. I'm quite happy for him to plug other channels.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
Yours is part of that network as well that we do have. That's why he's Master Chief, and Tequila knows he's Master Chief there. Look, Hugo's now going to LA. I haven't talked to you about that, Brad. Hugo Lloris. He will get his send-off tomorrow, apparently. So you get your chance to wave goodbye to him.
Oh, that's good.
Thank him for his services. I always said 8 good years, Brad. 2 crappy ones.
Yeah, I think overall he was a good servant. He wasn't in the same class as, say, Pat Jennings, but then who was or who is. But yeah, he did a good job for Tottenham. He made some great saves. He saved a penalty at Wembley against Arsenal in the last minute, and that effectively was the point, or the 2 points, extra points that we got in the Champions League with. So, and again, I obviously saved that penalty against Man City in that at Tottenham. So, yeah, a very decent player, and I'm glad they've let him go. I'm glad they haven't asked for loads and loads of money for him, you know, and you know, we don't we don't know how much of an influence he's been at the club this season because he's still officially a player. So, you know, so we do wonder whether they've used him in some sort of regard to that. So, but yeah, no, it's amazing how long he's been at the club, really.
11 years now, isn't it? Correct?
It's wouldn't have thought that. It's quite. It just became part of the furniture.
I'm just looking at Inter Milan's shirt. I love who that's sponsored by. Have you seen the Inter Milan sponsor? They're sponsored by the Autobots, the Transformers.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm actually going to save that picture if I can. Yeah, but that's a bit weird. We've got www.dermot does. Oh, very funny. Half fucking ha. Right. Let's go through. Here's Brad's channel, of course. Blue Sofa Songs. Get over there. Brad is a big part of the community. He really is. He's one of my closest friends on the community as well. I love Brad. I say to other people, and I say to your face, Brad, you are one of a million. You're one of the nicest people, and Clash is a very close friend. From the community as well. Somebody I can trust. So yeah, I love watching your channel.
Thank you very much, David. That's really well appreciated.
And also go over to the Full Time Sports Network to the guys over there, because Colin and Bobby, our partner channel, who very kindly come in, took us under their wing, and we're flourishing as a double channel. So we're really getting great. They're great as well. Yeah, and also come on to here. Let's get to 2K before my birthday in the 5th. And let me celebrate when I meet with Brad on the 10th of February, me having a pint, and I'm over 2K on my channel. Brad's over 1,000 on his channel. Let's get there.
That's, and then just in the February the 10th.
And then we've got Tequila's gaming channel. Please go over to the Play Pouch. Absolutely great channel. And Carl Simpson, Pornhub plug next, Tequila. Just spreading the love, Brad. You're a guest, at least we can do, mate. Exactly. And
cheers,
Tequila says, LOL, Carl. Dermo, yeah, very funny. Yeah, all very funny, you lot. I'm not even going to say that. What do you think about? Yeah, it's great. Great news. I'm just waiting to see. Can I get news now? I'm now getting a response, Brad, from the person I use. Right, it's not done yet, but the deal is close, I've been told.
Yeah, it looks like it might be happening.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. So all the where are we going now? Where am I going now? So all the news that we have signed a player, I've just been told not yet, but the deal is close. So that's what I've been told. So give me 2 minutes, Brad. I'm gonna give him a quick call.
Yeah.
And keep this. I love these shows when there's something happening, Brad.
Yeah,
I love it.
And
It just makes
it's good stuff happening this time. The last time I
Yeah.
was on, it wasn't so good, but
no, yeah, okay. Just give us 2 minutes. I will be back, Brad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
still Aston Villa 2, Burnley 1 after 63 minutes. And obviously Burnley down to 10 men now, so Sky Sports have changed all their pundits, so I don't know who they are anymore. Obviously, apart from Paul Merson, but they don't seem to have the ones they used to have. I guess Jess Stelling was a bit of a legend, and he's not on it anymore. Elgin City are 2-0 up against Peterhead, so my old work colleague Lindsay will, if she knows, will be very happy with that. And one of the best names in football, Stenhouse Muir, have just scored against Clyde. Matthew Aitken puts them 2-0 up. Clyde, is that Clyde? Is that where the ships are built? Clyde? Is it Clyde Shipbuilders? Hello, Philip.
Hi, Brad. Hi, Brad.
How you doing?
I got
Good.
sidetracked there. 2 grandkids here now, and they're
Tying you out, are they?
well, just to say they've gone out for a few minutes, so we're at peace and quiet until they come back. Anyway.
The latest I've been told that Fabrizio Romero's not really correct. Philip's going to go surprise, surprise.
What's new about that? What's he said now, anyway?
Anyway, still for Radu
Dragosin.
Dagger, it's close. It hasn't been completed yet. It's close. It could break any time. The Gallagher deal can break at any time too. So
they can't do it. They can't do it till Monday, Dermot. They can't do it till 1st of January.
No, but they can get everything in. They can get everything in principle. They can sign it. They can actually do the deal, but they can't announce it until Monday.
Yeah,
but they can say they can get everything done. Højbjerg could be close on the way out as well, Philip. That's what I'm hearing as well. That deal could come through quite soon. So I want to go to you and Brad on this first, and then we'll get back to the scores, Brad. Philip, I'll start with you. Do you think Gallagher coming in and Højbjerg coming out, do you think that's just one to come in and one to go out, basically? Or is it one to go out, one to come in?
I think, well, first of all, I think Gallagher can probably offer slightly more to the squad.
Yeah.
Than Højbjerg has done. I saw a comment there recently. It's probably made up, but it made my blood boil a bit. Somebody put up, it says, Højbjerg is fed up with Ange and wants to leave. If there's even a semblance of truth in that, you say, right, lads, there's the front door, out you go. You don't want players at the club that don't want to be here. I can't get my head around the Gallagher one. I just can't understand why Chelsea are letting him go. He's an integral part of their team. What's the problem? Or is there a problem? I just don't know. I hope he comes, but I just can't figure out the reasoning behind it.
No. Brad, what about you? Where you on that?
Well, what Philip was saying about Højbjerg, I think it's probably that he wants to first team football. I think that I haven't, the story that he's fed up with Ange. He's probably fed up not playing, which I guess any footballer is probably going to be like that. So, yeah, I agree with Philip. I think Conor Gallagher, he hasn't really impressed me, but I think he would offer a lot more. And he's obviously a younger player. He's obviously a homegrown player. And can add that bit of energy that we might lose with Højbjerg. But I think Højbjerg's been good for Tottenham. I think it's been a good signing for Tottenham. He came in at the right time when we needed that sort of a player, and has played many games for Tottenham. So good luck to him. But I don't think it's the money situation with one out, one in. I think it's a question of the actual squad depth that they can't sort of let a player go if they've got no one to replace him with. So it's be interesting. As I say, I haven't been that impressed with Conor Gallagher, but a lot of people seem to like him, and he's played for England. I mean, so
Brad, Philip would tell you, I was banging on about him in the summer transfer window, wasn't I? Even on deadline day.
Yeah.
I love him as a player. I think the way he played at Crystal Palace I thought he'd be great for Tottenham's midfield. Look, on Højbjerg, for me, I love Højbjerg. Don't get me wrong. He's my favourite player. But I think what did it for me was Thursday night's performance where he seemed not to care. He knew he was leaving, so I'm not going to give my all. Why would I want to give my all? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he gives that impression, though, doesn't he?
Yeah,
That he doesn't seem, I think it's just him. I think it's just him. I think it's just how he plays. I mean, it's interesting. I think he's just a player that's come to the end of his reign at Tottenham, really. I think we've moved on, or we've changed our style. And although he suited the other styles he played under, I think he probably doesn't suit this style. So good luck to him, I say. And we're hopefully the players that aren't sort of in Postecoglou's plans are going. Players like Dyer and players like Højbjerg.
Go on, bro.
It's great to see transfer news coming in early in the window.
Yeah,
we used to wait until January the 30th at 5 to 11 before we hear anything. So this is great.
I'm going to get to your question in a minute, Daniela. Well, actually, I'll get you first because you're a member. Philip, just yes or no, and you, Brad, just yes or no to this. Do you think he'd be in the squad for Burnley if the deal's done? If the deal's done before Monday or on Monday, then yes, I think he will be in the squad for the FA Cup third round tie. Philip, yeah or nay on that?
I'd be a bit dodgy about Burnley, but certainly be there for Manchester United if he signed.
I think the question is, will he be eligible? Which I don't know how the rules work in that respect. But
it's Romanian. Is there work permits? Could there be work permits involved here? Probably.
Yeah,
so that might take a while,
probably right there. Probably right. He would. I mean, let's face it. Van der Ven played against Brentford, didn't he? And he literally just joined the club. So,
actually, you're right. Because I remember being at the Shakhtar Donetsk friendly the Sunday before that, and Van der Ven just arrived at the ground, and everybody was turning and looking up at the stand and see him there, and he played the following Saturday. So maybe.
Yeah, and he played well. So I think. I mean, I hope we play a strong side against Burnley. I'm not pinning my hopes on the FA Cup, but I really would love a good cup run because I think the season itself, the actual league position, I think Postecoglou's got a free hit really. They're doing better than I thought we'd be doing. So I think if we get European football, whether it be Champions League or Europa League, I think that'd be a really good effort in his first season. I'd just like to thank Tequila 316 for subscribing to me as well. I just saw the chat, so thank you.
Yeah, I'm coming to that, Brad. I did see that. I was going to bring it up and surprise you, but you've beaten me to it.
I've got the chat. I've got the chat on. I put the chat on when I was going solo. So
yeah, okay, we are going to get very quickly, guys. Look, is it 3-1? No, it's still 3-1. Palace. Ooh, yeah, that's interesting. Are you surprised, Lou Chili Music said, are you guys surprised about the quick news about the transfer? Philip, look, we've been crying out. How many deadline days have we done? 2, where you and me have sat for 5 or 6 hours waiting for Tottenham to do something and nothing's happened. And then suddenly out of nowhere, we're not even at the 1st of January, and there's a possibility of 2 transfers coming in already. I mean, our Cup podcast tonight could be turned into welcome to Colin Gallagher and welcome to the centre-back to Tottenham. It could totally turn on its head, Philip. And are you impressed? Are you think Levy's learned lessons from past that he's now thinking, right, I'm going to do it right this time?
Well, there's 2 reasons this is happening, in my opinion. One is the injury situation, right, which is crucial, critical. And secondly, is Anne just had a word. He said, listen, Daniel, I want my players in so I can work with them, not get them in the last day of the window and don't know, and have to no time to work with them. It's a bit of both. And I think Levy probably has learned his lesson. Mind you, we'll know if the signings come through, we'll all be saying, well done, Daniel, you've learnt your lesson. They're not there yet. And until they're there, I've got this nagging doubt. I suppose it comes from
don't start this nagging. Don't start this nagging Norris again.
But Dermot, I'm normally right. That's my problem.
We are wrong this time. You're wrong. Nagging Norris.
backing up what Philip said, Postecoglou's been going on for press conference after press conference about getting players in early. Yeah. As I said earlier, he said about Brendan Johnson coming in late in the window and having to catch up. So, and Levy, Levy's not, as I keep saying, no matter what you think of him, he's not stupid. He must see the reaction that this team is getting at the ground. When we win games and everyone has a party, and everyone sings Postecoglou's name. I mean, he must be seeing that and thinking, well, I've got to keep this going, Yeah. So yeah, he'd be really, really stupid not to, to quibble over £3 or £4 million for players. Yeah, even if he doesn't even get involved in the finance side, I'm sure he does, but you're hoping that he's sort of away from that certainly the sporting side of it, rather than just keeps the normal business side and that. So
now, apparently, where is it now? Kevin De Bruyne was in the Man City squad today. So I don't know if he was
on the bench.
He's on the bench, is he?
On the bench.
Yeah, I think he was.
I don't know if he's come on yet now. I'll just check.
Yeah. The United team has been announced because we are doing Man United, Forest Man United after this. So I will give you the team. It's Onana, Fernandes, Rashford, Ericsson, Grant Shaw, Varane, Dalot, Anthony, Wanda Baskin, Evans, and Manu. So that is the Manchester United team. Look, where are you going into that game, Philip, the Forest Man U game? Are you thinking it's a win for Forest, or do you think it's a tricky away game for Manchester United? After what we saw the other night.
It just depends what United turn up, doesn't it, really? They're bound to take a lot of confidence from coming back against Villa. Mind you, I think Villa contributed to their own downfall big time in that game. And that was continuing with Villa against Burnley today. So it just shows you a couple of bad results can knock you on the head. I think United will probably win that game. Although you never know with Forest. You just do not know. They went to Newcastle last week and turned them over, no bother, So
that was an amazing win, wasn't it? I couldn't believe that.
Well, incredible, yeah. So I'd say United might win that one.
Yeah, and with Everton now lose some guys as well, are they being dragged into the relegation fight, or do you think that they've got enough for them to stay up? If Luton start winning,
I think they've enough. I think they've enough in them, Everton, to be honest. I know they're not doing so well today, but we saw enough last week now. Okay, we made it easy enough for them, but what are they now? They're I'm just looking at the table here. They've got 16 points. Luton only one behind them on 15, so they're not out of it. But I think they'll have enough to go.
Yeah,
I'll tell you who's going to get sucked into this relegation in big time is Brentford. Brentford are on a horrendous run at the minute.
And we don't know what's going to happen with the points deduction. They're appealing against it. I'd imagine if they appeal against it, they've got to come to a decision by the end of the season, haven't they? So,
I thought it was very ironic on the other night there, the Manchester City fans chanting at the Everton fans, "You're cheats," and you are. I thought that was the most ironic thing I've ever heard.
Hearts has just equalised, by the way, guys. Hearts has equalised against Ross County 2-2. Lawrence Shankland after 79 minutes. St Mirren have taken 2-0 lead against Aberdeen. Wraith Rovers have gone 2-1 up against Arbroath. And, of course, Burnley have equalised. Guys, Scott Munn. Louis Chilimes, do you think Scott Munn is helping with the transfers? I'm actually going to add to that. Do you think Paratici is behind the scenes pulling the strings here? And everyone's just dancing to the Don's music. It's got Paratici written all over this transfer window already, hasn't it? Really?
I don't know. I mean, the fact that Paratici is at the ground most weeks, and people are taking selfies with him, so he's not exactly hiding. So you do wonder whether he's doing something. And as long as they're not breaking any rules, then fine. We need all the help we can get. But I'm not sure what Scott Munn. I heard Scott Munn is a CFO, which is Chief Football Officer rather than Financial Officer in old terms. But
hang on, Brad, hang on just a minute. All right, see you later, Philip. Bye.
Oh, bye. See you, Philip. I think Scott Munn is Chief Football Officer, so he's in charge of all things football. Now that could be PR, that could be. He could. I mean, he's basically the boss of all the recruiters and that sort of thing, So whether he's in charge of the football purse Strings, I don't know.
Springs as well.
Yeah.
Springs for your car.
I hope. Look, I've been saying this for many, many, many years. Just say this is the money that's available plus whatever you make. Do what you want with it. You know, I hope that's what they've done with Postecoglou. So he's got that money to spend. He knows what money to spend. And
I meant to say it earlier, Brad, and I didn't actually get out around so we're going to say it now. I've seen so much negativity around the fan base about this window. If we don't backhand, just Levy outright. And I've always said it. I said it last night in the group chat that we have to give Ange to the summer window before we judge anything. Yeah. And I think, look, maybe call me naive, call me probably really optimistic. But when Ange came in, I felt there was a change at the club. I felt there's a change of direction. I felt there was a change in culture. I felt there was a change in the way that we were going to do business. And you look at our summer business, we were quite active in the summer business and got players in that we needed. Okay, we could never do all in one window. And I just felt that good feel factor, especially after the start we've had. And I think, look, Levy's had his critics and Levy's made mistakes. And we're not going to sit here, Brad, and say he hasn't made mistakes. No, he has made mistakes.
He has.
But I said to him, and a lot of people, some people come in here and said, Dermot's a flip-flop. I was very much Levy out a couple of seasons ago. I really was. I was fed up. And then I sat back and I thought, well, hang on a minute. I have to look at this logically, look at this. I have to take myself out of the situation and look at it from the outside in. And you start looking at it you start looking at it as from a football fan instead of your heart. You start using your head, Brad, if you know what I mean. You and me have supported Tottenham. I've supported them now for 43 years, nearly 44 years. You've supported them probably around the same time or a bit more.
50 something,
yeah. So we've both been around enough times to see around the block. We can all remember us going to the wall, nearly going to the wall at late 80s after the 1991 Cup final. And that season, Brad, during that, I think from Oxford, Peterborough quarterfinal onwards, when it all started to come out, and that we're asking, where's the money gone? Where's the money gone? And you look at it now, is it true that you have to start with like United, you start with your infrastructure and then you build from that?
Well,
but do you feel the infrastructure took too long to build?
They seem to be making the path from the youth team to the first team easier. They seem to be putting a lot into recruitment. They seem to be putting a lot into the modern way of recruiting, using stat-based recruiting. So they seem to be making a lot of changes in that respect. And the players that we got in the summer, we got Maddison, Van der Vey, I guess Solomon. And, one more I can't think. I guess Udogie he'd already been bought anyway. So in that summer window, we literally had 4 or 5 new players. Oh, and the goalkeeper, Vicario, obviously.
Vicario,
So we had 3 or 4 new players, and in this window, from all accounts, centre back, central midfielder, and maybe a forward. So that's 3 players I think we need in this window. Yeah. So that's 5. That's 8 players. Then you got the summer. You get another 4 or 5 players in the summer. You've virtually got a new team in the 3 windows, which is literally a season. So, and he said he needed 2 or 3 windows. He's always said it's work in progress, and it still is. So I think if we can get 3 players in, and if Conor Gallagher is the one he wants, and this Dragosin, can't say his name, is one they get them in early, and then another forward, then great. You know, I'm still sort of sitting on the fence as far as Daniel Levy is concerned, because we've been here before, and we've had problems before. So let's see how this goes. Let's see how this window goes. Let's see how the next summer goes. And we'll see. Obviously, that's another season of money income. I mean, I keep meaning to look at the accounts. Not that I'm an accountant by any stretch of the imagination, but the fact that we had the 3rd highest income of any sporting club in the world, and yet we didn't make a profit, we made a bit of a loss. that's quite interesting to see where the money has gone, and money like the 50 million that we've still got to bring in, the money for Kane, this sort of thing. Be interesting to see.
I think the money from Kane, Brad, went on the transfers that we got in the summer. To be fair, I think
possibly,
that's where that money went.
Possibly. I think because Brendan Johnson, that's the other player we signed, didn't we? So we spent 40 million on him, 40 on. We literally spent 120, 130 million players. Yeah. Well, actually, if you include 15, 16 for Vicario, which, let's face it, we're all saying, oh, he's scrimming and saving again. Proved that
I didn't actually, because Column did a report on him, and me and Philip quickly dubbed him the new Pat Jennings because he always saved with his feet. I was very confident this lad was going to kick on, and he has. Look, I'm not saying we will always in this channel call out Daniel Levy when he's made a mistake, Brad, but we're not going to sit here and just lambast the man when he's trying to do his best. Not everyone gets it right. And maybe I wonder, Brad, if it's a case of right manager, right fit, right way that maybe it's the manager with the right fit, with the right attitude, with the right philosophy that maybe, hang on, all the jigsaw pieces are fitting into place now.
Yeah, I think like with Pochettino, I think with Postecoglou, I think Daniel Levy's got lucky.
I think so.
Because I don't think Pochettino was his first choice, and certainly Postecoglou wasn't his first choice. No. So I think in those instances he's got lucky, and we all love it. Don't get me wrong, we all love it. So yeah, I'm keeping my powder dry. I'm not going to say anything extreme in or out. Let's see the window that hasn't actually started. If we do get these first two players in quickly and another one in, then great. And they're Postecoglou players. And I think that's the big difference. I think with the Postecoglou regime is that I think he's made it pretty clear that the players has to be the ones he wants. Yeah. He has to have the final say. Whereas we all know the famous Conte thing with Jed Spence. Oh, he was a club signing, So we all know that. What happened to Jed Spence? Never got a game.
And I am sorry for Jed Spence. He's doing brilliant at Leeds, by the way. He's having a great.
Right, yeah.
Excuse
me. Yeah, I
both of them having great seasons at Leeds.
Yeah, I think he was potentially a decent player, and because he's an attacking player as well, he probably could and quick. Probably could fit into the Postecoglou inverted fullback system, but I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Obviously,
but I'm really excited, Brad. I'm really excited about what's happening where Tottenham are going at the moment. And
the potential is there. We've got a young team again. First time since Pochettino, we've had a young team, and with that young team, if they play the system, they all know each other. They all seem, put it this way, they seem to enjoy each other's company, don't they? They seem to really have a good spirit there.
You look at the game, even you look at the game when we beat Everton, even at the game when the defenders and the goalkeeper got together and had a little huddle.
Yeah.
It was like, we've done it. You look at the players when they go away, they're huddled by the away fans and do what Celtic used to do, go up to the away fans. And I think he's brought that sort of. I always mark it back to the early 80s, Brad, for me, under Keith Birkinshaw. I've got that feeling again like we had under Keith Birkinshaw.
Now, second most successful Tottenham manager, wasn't he, Keith Birkinshaw? So
yeah, but I was only a young kid at the time, Brad. But you look at that time, and we won 2 FA Cups, we won the UEFA Cup, we got to a League Cup final, European Cup Winners' Cup semi-final. Really should have won the league under Keith Birkinshaw, to be fair, but I think we're always 1 or 2 players away from doing that. But I'm looking at Ange and I'm thinking, look, I know what you've done at Celtic. I know what you've done in Japan and Australia. And a lot of fans are very much, Japan, what's the Scottish League? What's the Japanese League? Well, there was a certain gentleman down the road, called Mr. Wenger, who was successful in Monaco, but was very successful in the Japanese league. And and come over.
Who's he?
Who's he? He came and he transformed the team down the road to their most successful period since Herbert Chapman. So I can see Ange doing the same, and I think you are right. Levy has got lucky, but I also think he's putting the right team in place now. He's letting Pochettino build his team in his image.
Yeah, and that's what we get with Postecoglou.
That's the thing, isn't it? And Postecoglou, all these players now, Postecoglou, are the Don signings. They're Paratici signings that are playing now. There's none of Steve Hitchens signings in that team. If you look at it that way.
I think it's full time at Man City, 2-0 to Manchester City. I would say that I think Postecoglou has the final say, doesn't he? So we could say that Paratici might have been behind getting the. I mean, obviously players like Kulusevski and that sort of thing. You could say that he's been behind getting the players in, but I think Postecoglou has the final say. So this side at the moment, if you look at the back five, it's a totally, well, apart from Romero, a totally new back five. You know, they're all Postecoglou signings.
Yeah.
You look at, I think Maddison was it's an obvious signing, for me. But again, he interviewed him and said, well, whether you come to us or not, I ain't going to change. And he was impressed by Maddison's attitude. So that's very important, which comes to team spirit, which is why I'm sort of wondering whether I don't think the guy, who's the guy up at Brentford who's on the gambling thing?
Oh, Tony.
Yeah, Tony. That's why I don't think that's going to be a goer, because I would suspect that there could be that there's a few dressing room problems there with him. I could be totally wrong. But
no, I think you're right. The Premier League latest is 88 minutes. It's still 2-2 up Burnley.
Yeah, that's
full time.
There's been a goal. There's a goal at Villa Park. It's shown us.
Where's it gone?
3-2. A Douglas Luiz penalty.
Ooh. And 3-0 to St Mirren as well. They're 3-0 up against Aberdeen.
Which, in a strange way, if you forget the league, Villa beating Burnley is probably a good result for Tottenham, because that means that Burnley are in the mire still. And might want to rest a few players next week.
Yeah, that's actually very true.
I can't believe that. I'm worried about the team that Burnley are going to field against us in the cup. But
Brad, you're like me. We've seen it all before, sir. We've seen it all before. Let's go through some of these chats. Crawley FC match in the 72 minutes has just been abandoned.
Weather, maybe. Weather.
Don't know. Can you tell us why, DJ Samuel? Can you not tell us why? Keith Redwards, Gallagher's not for him, says Keith. But if Ange wants him, I will fully back him. And any player coming in, big up. Wayne Bonner, sometimes in football, unknown names, better big names are just that. They come in with their set in stone reputation. The unknown don't. Exactly. Tequila says Tony comes across as a bit of a mug. Sorry to say, maybe just how he carries himself. I think he is a bit of a mug, to be fair. He would fitting great at Arsenal. I'll tell that to Bobby and Colin later. They were fitting great at Arsenal. Look, we're still waiting on confirmation on that news, but it's all looking that we are going to get our first couple of signings in early, Brad.
I don't think it'll be official until Monday.
No, but I think we will get the here we go. I think it will. Yeah. I think we will get the announcements that the big announcements will be done Monday.
It's Everton. It's Wolves 4, Everton 0.
Wolves are Everton to get the fit for pace.
Yeah.
This is not doing good.
It's gone back to 3 again.
Oh, right. But even so, 3-0, it's not doing Everton's goal difference anymore.
No. I've got an interesting thing for you, Dermot, and anyone in the chat.
Yeah.
In a parallel universe, Glenn Hoddle went to Monaco and played under Arsene Wenger. And Glenn Hoddle has always said that that's influenced him, his management style, and how, wow, he'd never seen anything like this before. Absolutely amazing, blah, blah, blah. You do wonder why Glenn Hoddle didn't recommend Arsene Wenger to Tottenham.
Do you know what? I tell you why. I tell you why he didn't. I tell you why. Arsene Wenger. It was how I was watching the video about David Dean the other day. Right. I was coming across YouTube and I thought I'd just listen to it. He's got a book out, by the way, and I have read it. It's actually a really good book. If you're a football fan, it's a really interesting book, right? It is 4-0. It is come back as 4-0 now. Well, I don't know if you're ahead of me, but
there's 9 minutes of injury time at Villa Park. So they're in the 93rd minute.
And he was saying that Wenger come over. He was over in London for the day, and he picked Arsenal-Tottenham. And he was there as a guest as Arsenal, there as a guest watching North London Derby. And he went out with David Dean and his wife for dinner.
Oh, right.
And that started it. And he recommended him to the board after George Graham got sacked. And the Arsenal board said, no, we want a English manager. So when, what was his name? Was it Rioch?
Yeah, they had Rioch there, didn't they, for a while?
Then they said to Arsenal again, do you want the job? It's like Alex Ferguson. Alex Ferguson nearly came to Tottenham in '86.
Wow.
And he chose Man United. Can you imagine if Fergie came to Tottenham?
As I said, in a parallel universe, somewhere.
There's somewhere that Brad is a rock star playing for Toto, and I'm the 5-time Formula One world champion, and Wayne is world heavyweight champion of the world.
But the thing about Arsene Wenger was that we would have been playing really good football.
Yeah,
that's like the Tottenham way. It's quite weird when you
that's what got me under Wenger. I was looking at Arsenal thinking, "You bastards, that's how we play."
Because Arsenal we always laughed at Arsenal for being boring, didn't we? You know.
Look,
and he changed it. You know, so
you can say that Wenger was a great manager. Whatever you think of him, and I think Ange is from what got me about Ange, right? Arthur Rowe, it was what was the Hungarian? What was his name?
Puskás.
Taught Postecoglou.
That's right. Yeah, I remember Norman Giller.
And then Arthur Rowe taught Puskás.
Puskás, yeah.
So Puskás taught. I don't know which way it went, but the right way.
I think Arthur Rowe taught Puskás, who taught Postecoglou, who's now at Tottenham. Yeah, so
isn't it funny? And I've always said it. There's a bit of Bill Nick about Ange. There's a bit of Birkinshaw about it, but there's also a bit of the push and run about Tottenham now.
Oh yeah, some of the football
we haven't seen that since the '80s, Brad.
I mean, the thing about Tottenham's football, it's full time at Palace, by the way. Crystal Palace 3, Brentford 1. The thing about Tottenham's football is I criticise them for not having enough shots on goal and not taking responsibility. But some of the lead-up football has been brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So we're getting there. We're not that far away. If we can convert that, let's face it, against Brighton for the first 6 or 7 minutes, we looked very bright.
Yeah.
But didn't make the keeper save anything. So, you know, that's where you go.
At that the other day, though, Brad, I was screaming that. Look, we've got Louis Music. I'll bring this up to late. It's 40 million, Brad. Wayne, 40 million euro. Wayne, that is the fee for Gallagher. That's what I'm hearing. Tequila saying, "Damn, Deitch going to be on the THE warpath tonight." You will. Brad, open up the Stargate and send me their cheese. There you go. Louis Choose Music says, I got Radu. I can't pronounce his surname. I'm just going to call them Radu. It's getting closer to Tottenham for Genoa. The THC have offered 25 million to sign the centre-half, who's already agreed personal terms for a 5-year contract. Genoa asked 30 million to sell him. So there's a 5 million.
This is the thing. Yeah. If this becomes a sticking point over the next week, I'll be.
I don't think. See, Brad, look, I know you're going to say, but I don't think it will be, because all I'm hearing it's the deal. It's nearly. Even when I came off and spoke to the person I trust, he says it's near enough a done deal. So I think I think a case of 5 million here or there. I think Italian clubs need the money. We all know they're broke. And Tottenham will say, well, look, we can structure this. They will give you 25 million up front, and then the other 5 million will structure it over a 4-year option. Do you know what I mean? They might add it in as add-ons. So I think that's what they might do.
Yeah, and don't forget, I'm not sure whether certainly between English clubs, they don't pay the money straight up. It's all done in instalments. So it depends on how they structure the deal. What would annoy me if that becomes a sticking point is the fact that we make, as I say, 5 million from a couple of home games in food and drink sales. So, you know, it's such a small amount. It's not like they're asking for 80 million for him.
No.
They're asking for 30 million, if that's true.
Yeah.
And it's
Wolves game's finished 3-0 to Wolves. Yeah. Everton have lost.
Still playing at Villa Park. They're in the 98th minute of 9 minutes injury time. So they've got a minute and a bit to go.
Yeah. Look, for me, Brad, I think the 5 million will be done as add-ons. I think that it would be 25 million plus add-ons. I think you look at these deals. These deals are never easy to complete, Brad. We all know that, and I think it's become a bit of a myth that I know we had what's his name for the Man City player?
Oh, Grealish.
Yeah, but we got to remember that I don't think Levy's doing the transfers. I think he's leaving it to the team to do the transfers.
You hope that, don't you? You hope that.
Again, maybe I'm being a bit naive, Brad. Maybe I'm being a bit optimistic. Maybe I'm just thinking I'm going to give you this chance.
Wayne Bonner's latest comment in the chat. I mean, that's what I was saying. You know, there it is again. That familiar 5 million. Yeah. We've been there before.
We've been. I just don't think it's the same. Ange won't let it happen, though. I think Ange has put his foot down and say, "Look, this is what I want."
And we do recall Ange Postecoglou walked out of the Australian national team after getting them to the finals of the World Cup because the Australian Football Federation did something that he didn't want to do. So, and I'm not saying he's going to threaten Daniel Levy with walking out, but what I'm saying is that Levy hopefully knows the history that you got to give him what he wants. Simple as.
Yeah. I'm just seeing this any update now. There was something on Twitter, which I will read out to you. Now, this is a quote. Apparently, this is on Chris Cowland's X page. It's Radu's agent, Florian Marin. It says, "We, Genera, Marin, and Radu, said to ourselves that we will talk after the transfer market. We don't want to leave either. We start from this assumption. Then an important club comes that makes him and makes a leap in his career. It is normal that they can evaluate him. Just like Genera, it's an important figure arrives. According to what we have read, there is possible of 30 million euro, which works out to be 26 million pound anyway. So that works out 25 million pound anyway, Brad. So we forget this is done in euros, so we forget to add in the English money actually, which is we should do. We all forget because of Brexit, and don't forget also Brexit does play a part in this as well, Brad. People don't understand that it plays a massive part in it. In life, certain trains arrive once or twice, but we're in no hurry to leave. Many teams have called and are interested. If something will come out of these, fine. Otherwise, we're happy here. After the transfer window, we're certainly finding an agreement to renew in my option. If he leaves Genoa, we must do so to a very important team. I'm talking about one of the top 5 or 6 in the Premier League, the top in Italy like Inter or Milan. I mention these names as examples, not to say they have interest. They are very strong teams and we will be happy if we're interested in him. Let's see now. We're thinking about working. He told me he wanted to become the best defender in the world. And I said, okay, Radu, then we have to work hard for that target. Every day since then, he has worked, remaining the same humble boy as always. In 18 years of my career, I've never seen someone so intelligent, down to earth. He is in the last year of university, so to speak. For me, Brad, that is keeping it close to your chest. But if you're reading between the lines,
he's not going to come out and say, he's on his way. He's going to be a bit of a.
It looks, and we actually forgot about the. How stupid am I forgetting about the difference between the euros and the British pound, and plus Brexit.
As
Tequila said, don't remind you.
We're sorry, okay? We're sorry.
We're still in Europe, by the way. We're happy in Europe. You lot decided to leave. We did advise you to stay. We did tell you you're better off inside the tent than the outside pissing in.
Unfortunately, half the population had a bit of a brain fart at that time. So,
or was it a Boris Johnson sort of? Did he sit there with his big watch hypnotising everyone?
No, because I think it'd been we'd had the referendum before then anyway. I mean, that was in 2016. I think all that Johnson did was use it to get get votes from up north, because the north is traditionally a very Labour area, but they were very pro-Brexit, and I think he just used that to get the Labour voters to vote Conservative because of Brexit. So, and this is where the Tories are basically stuffed in the next election, because they're not going to have them anymore. So yeah.
Look, for me, the whole of the politics of morons have been a lot of them.
Look, I can't think of any politician. Maybe Andy Burnham. Maybe he's okay. Maybe Bernie Sanders in America. I don't know. They're all careerists in my opinion.
So if we're looking at what his agent said, Brad, right? So we've gone away from what we do normally go on to with this news breaking. Look, I'll give you the results very quickly. Premier League, Aston Villa 3, Burnley 2, Crystal Palace 3, Brentford 1, Luton 2, Poch getting the sack 3, the Cheetahs 2, Sheffield United 0, Wolves 3, Everton, the team that shouldn't have been deducted points but probably had to be, 0. There you go. So there we are. Now we've got the National League. Jimmy Greaves Barnet 1, Southend 0, Bromley 5, Ebbsfleet 1, Kidderminster 1, Bournemouth 2, Oldham 2, Hartlepool. Jeff won't be happy 0. And that's from the National League.
I believe that. Yeah, Oldham had a win. So my friend Jeff in Australia.
The voice needs to be more boring, less emotion. Okay, Brad. When the Scottish Premier League comes up, you do it.
Oh, well, they're on at the moment. Aberdeen 0, St Mirren 3.
Okay.
Celtic 2, Rangers 1.
Yay!
Hearts 2, Ross County 2. Kilmarnock 2, Dundee 2. Motherwell 3. Oh God, Livingston 1. Does anyone care? I'm waiting for the tables. I want to see where Burnley are in the table.
Park. Celtic 2. The blue lot down the road 1. Hearts 2. Ross County 2. Is this all right for you, Tequila? By the way, do you know we are trying to make it as boring as possible for you?
I was at a railway station once where they announced where the next train was going and where it was stopping, and the guy did it in a DJ voice. It's really funny, very entertaining.
Okay. All right, now I want you to read the next one that come up, right, Brad, in a DJ voice, right? Really, just give it a bit of welly, like you're. Remember, you're in the Houses of Parliament and you're trying to get a speech out, right? So I want you
order.
Yeah, give it, go on. Give it your all.
Well,
the next one that comes up, give it all, Brad.
Hey, United 2, Dunfermline 2, Inverness, County Thistle 0. Those guys from Modern 0. The Renegades at Queen's Park 1. Those lovely lads at Edgeronians 2. And down in Edinburgh City, it's 2. Hamilton Academicals 5. Sorry, that's a bit more boxing, wasn't it?
No, that's fine. That's fine. I went on to Dave's channel the other day and did the pre-match. He said, "How are you doing, Dermo?" I went, "Let's get ready to rumble."
But come on, show us the league tables. I want to see how far down Burnley are.
The keeler said Brown sounds like he's doing bingo. And he says legs 11. Okay.
I remember the bingo caller once where I'd like to do a bingo call where you say all the 2s, 9, so just totally different. Big fat lady, 1.
Have a word with Philip. He's our bingo announcer on this channel. He does bingo every Wednesday. Do you know what? Officially, he is the Leitrim sex symbol for the over 80s. Philip is. He got voted the sexiest bingo caller of the year.
Really?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He doesn't know it yet, but I will be telling them tonight he's won that award.
Legs 11, 45. Yeah.
Scottish League 1, Edinburgh City 2, Hamilton 5, Fircock 5, Stirling.
Careful how you say that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Kelty Hearts against Alloa, game postponed. Montrose 1, Cove Rangers 1, Queen of the South 2, Annan 1.
Oh, here's the table. Sorry, the tables have come up.
Yeah, okay, Brad. We're
6 points from top.
I think you've got somebody here fancied you. Donna Collins says, Mr. Brad, I think I'm falling for you. Well, just wire Brad a couple of million. I'm sure Brad would.
I can say, if it is the real Donna Cullen, obviously got plenty of money. So
yeah, well, if you're falling for Brad, pick up a membership on the channel. Send in an old super chat. I will make sure Brad gets your super chat. So do things like that, Donna.
Oh, look where Burnley are. Oh, Burnley.
We'll just go through Scottish League 2. Bonnyrigg Rovers against Spartans FC. The game of the day. Postponed. Clyde 1, Sternhouse Muir 2, Egan 2, Peterhead 1, Forfair 0, East 5 0. Stranraer against Dunburton, game postponed because referee was pissed from the night before. And the reason why Bonnyrigg Rose and Spartan FC was postponed because Spartans turned up for a fight with the spears and the shields, and that's right. But yeah, top 5, Brad. Was it Liverpool at top, Aston Villa second?
Burnley are literally 6 points off of safety at the moment, with a game played more. So
now Villa have played the game more, so they're joint top at the moment with Liverpool. Man City are on 40, Arsenal on 40, Tottenham are on 36. So we'll win tomorrow. We need to keep in touch. And then Burnley, Burnley are down there in 19th, 11 points. Wow. What do you reckon, Brad?
Well, I reckon Burnley will play a weakened team against Tottenham. I mean, why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
That said, we should be beating Burnley anyway. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. A Friday night game as well. I mean, come on.
Are you going to it, Brad?
I'll be going. Yeah, I've booked Friday off, so I'll be at the ground early. Be going there and be my Friday night effectively. So so I'll be going to that. I'm going tomorrow. I'm a bit concerned about getting home actually because you may or may not get the New Year's Eve crowds going into central London.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll try and avoid central London if I can, but I have to go through it to get back to Ealing. So. So we'll see. I mean, I'd be quite willing to get a taxi if I had to. It's not that expensive actually, but
well, hang on there, Mrs. Donna. If you say what you mean, so I will unblock if you will behave yourself. So give me a chance.
I was going to say I don't block anyone. I don't know how to.
No, it's me. She got a bit naughty. She got a bit naughty. She got a little bit naughty there a little while ago, so I had to actually unblock her. Had to block her because she was being a naughty girl, and I've just got to find how to do it now. General channel. Sorry,
well, I've got to go in a minute anyway because my voice is coming out, and I'm quite hungry as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, hang on, Donna. Right, Donna, you've now been unblocked. So you've now been unblocked there. So. Do your job. Let's see if she sends an old super chat into you. Let's see, Donna.
I'm not eligible for super chats. That's a problem.
If you're unblocked, I have unblocked you. So there you go. Let's see if you're the woman of your. Let's see if the woman of your word. Well, you're not now. So she says, Mr. Brad, I'll see you tomorrow. Well, okay. You said you were sending the super chat. If I unblocked you. For your beloved Mr. Brad, let's see if you're a woman of your word. And don't worry, guys. We are on again soon in a minute. We've got the Manchester United Forest game coming up, so I'll be joining Colin for that. And me and Philip are back at 9 o'clock with the Cockerel Clock podcast. On the podcast tonight at 9 o'clock. Where me and Philip are going to go through the year of 2023 and have a bit of fun. That's what podcast is all about. Brad, thank you for joining me. Sorry, it's been a bit of a messy one. It hasn't been our usual sort of well-oiled band member stream. We've been a bit here, there, and everywhere. But no, I don't mean the cockle cock. Oh, for fuck's sake! Dyslexia is
try saying that after a few drinks.
Yeah, the cock. She says, Mr. Dermot, on your next stream, Tequila says, I may be very drunk by then, Dermot, but we'll join you if I'm still awake.
Happy New Year's, Tequila Free. So you do realize it's New Year's Eve tomorrow, don't you, Tequila Free ones?
No. Tequila works in mysterious ways. But listen, guys, thank you so much for joining me and Brad and Philip as well. Thank you, Brad, Philip, for holding the fort as well, sir, for as long as you did. Well, I was
not a problem
running behind. But we are back tonight at 9 o'clock, guys, of course, with the Cockerel Clock podcast. And then we're back tomorrow, of course, with the watch long with Tottenham. Can Tottenham end 2023 on a winner? Of course we can, because we're the mighty Spurs. Brad, what is your score prediction for tomorrow, sir?
No, I think we're going to win comfortably. Yeah, I've said it.
Yeah. There you go. See you later, guys. We're back at 9.
Come
on, you Spurs. In Big Brad, we trust. There you go, Brad. Hang on. Now I've got to work out how to end the stream. Yeah? It's been one of those days. I swear to God, it's been one of those days. Right, where are we going? Okay. And this one is for you, Daniela. Come on, you Spurs.